Everything your physician has told you about sleep and cognitive health is fundamentally incomplete. I say that not to provoke controversy, but because after dedicating over 3 decades to medicine, studying how the human body heals itself, I've realized that most of us retire to bed every single night, completely missing one of the most powerful windows of brain repair that nature has ever engineered. What if I told you that in the 45 minutes before you close your eyes tonight, you could be saturating your brain with the precise compounds it requires to rebuild memory pathways, eliminate toxic waste, and wake up sharper than you felt in years? Not with a prescription, not with an expensive supplement, with a drink. A landmark study published by researchers at Columbia University Medical Center discovered something that genuinely transformed how I think about sleep. They found that the brain has its own dedicated cleaning system called the glymphatic system. Think of it as a nightly janitorial crew that arrives after hours and scrubs your brain of toxic proteins that accumulate during the day. Proteins linked directly to Alzheimer's disease and cognitive decline. Here's the stunning part. This cleaning system is up to 65% more active during deep sleep than during waking hours. That means every night you sleep, your brain is either getting a deep clean or it's not. And what you drink in that final window before bed can either unlock that process or completely shut it down. I want to tease something right now. The number one drink on this list is something almost nobody in the senior health space is discussing. It's not warm milk. It's not chamomile tea. It's something that researchers at Stanford and the Salk Institute have been quietly studying, and the results on memory consolidation are nothing short of remarkable. Please stay with me all the way to the end because that one will genuinely surprise you. Before we dive into the list, I want to hear from you. Drop your age in the comments right now, whether you're 62 or 79 or somewhere in between. And tell me this, what's the one memory or mental sharpness concern that worries you most as you get older? Is it forgetting names? Losing your train of thought mid-sentence? Walking into a room and forgetting why you went there? I read every single comment personally, and your answers genuinely shape the content I create for this community. We're counting down from number 3 to number 1, ranked from powerful to extraordinary. Every single one of these drinks is backed by peer-reviewed science, and I've included full references in the description below. Coming in at number 3, we're talking about a warm golden elixir that has been used medically for over 4,000 years. I'm talking about turmeric golden milk, and the science behind what it does to the aging brain during sleep is something every person over 60 absolutely needs to understand. Here's the dramatic truth. After age 65, the brain's inflammatory burden increases at a rate most people are completely unaware of. Neuroinflammation, meaning inflammation happening inside the brain itself, is now considered by leading researchers at Yale Medical School to be one of the primary drivers of age-related cognitive decline. Think of neuroinflammation as a slow-burning fire inside your computer's processor. It doesn't destroy the machine all at once, it just makes everything run slower, glitchier, less reliably. The active compound in turmeric is called curcumin. Curcumin is a polyphenol that has demonstrated a remarkable ability to cross what scientists call the blood-brain barrier. Most substances cannot do this. The blood-brain barrier is essentially a highly selective security gate, separating your bloodstream from your brain tissue. The fact that curcumin can pass through this barrier is what makes it neurologically exceptional. Once inside, curcumin actively suppresses inflammatory proteins, specifically a molecule called NF-kappa B that accelerates brain aging. A study published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease involving adults over 60 found that participants who consumed curcumin daily for 18 months showed a 32% improvement in memory and attention scores compared to the placebo group. Why does this matter specifically for the aging brain during sleep? Because nighttime hours are when the brain performs its most intensive repair work. Your glial cells are most active between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m.
Curcumin consumed roughly 45 minutes before sleep has been shown in research from UCLA's Longevity Institute to enhance the activity of BDNF, which stands for brain derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain. BDNF stimulates the growth of new neural connections and protects existing memory pathways from deterioration. After age 70, BDNF production naturally drops by nearly 45%. Golden milk consumed at night helps partially reverse that decline. Here's how you prepare this correctly. Take 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk or whole milk. Heat it gently until warm but not boiling. Whisk in 1 full teaspoon of high-quality turmeric powder, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a small pinch of black pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of coconut oil or ghee. Here's the critical detail, that black pepper is not optional. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine, and piperine increases the bioavailability of curcumin by up to 2,000%. Without it, most of the curcumin passes right through you. Add a small drizzle of raw honey if you need sweetness. Drink this 45 minutes before bed. The synergy tip for golden milk is this. Take a 200 milligram magnesium glycinate supplement alongside it. Research from MIT shows that magnesium actively opens the channels in the brain's hippocampus, making it far more receptive to the neural repair that curcumin and BDNF are trying to accomplish. The two together work like a key and a lock. I want to tell you about Helen. She's 72 years old and lives in Portland, Oregon. She described what she called word fog, that frustrating experience of knowing exactly what you want to say, but being unable to retrieve the word. She had been sleeping poorly for years and assumed mental fogginess was simply part of aging. After 8 weeks of consistent golden milk before bed, combined with magnesium, she reported that her word retrieval had improved dramatically and that she was waking up feeling like her brain got a shower overnight. Coming in at number 2, I'm talking about a specific preparation of tart cherry juice, and the research behind what it does to the sleeping brain over age 60 is something I consider one of the most exciting findings in geriatric neuroscience in the past decade. Let me start with the dramatic truth about sleep itself. Most people believe that sleep is passive. This is profoundly wrong. Sleep is the most metabolically active period for brain maintenance that exists in human biology. During deep sleep stages, the brain performs 3 critical functions simultaneously. It consolidates memories by transferring information from the hippocampus to the cortex. It activates the glymphatic system to flush out amyloid beta plaques. And it releases growth hormone, which repairs and regenerates neurons. Here's the problem for people over 60. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that slow-wave sleep decreases by approximately 2% every decade starting at age 30. By the time you're 70, you may be getting 80% less of this critical repair sleep than you did at 30. Tart cherry juice directly addresses this deficit. Tart cherries, specifically Montmorency tart cherries, contain the highest natural concentration of melatonin found in any food on Earth. But this is not cheap synthetic melatonin. This is phytomelatonin, plant-derived melatonin that comes packaged with anthocyanins, quercetin, and tryptophan, all of which work together in what researchers call an entourage effect. Think of synthetic melatonin as a single musician playing one note. Tart cherry juice is a full orchestra. A study conducted at Northumbria University involving men and women between ages 65 and 79 found that drinking 8 ounces of tart cherry juice twice daily resulted in an average of 84 extra minutes of sleep per night and a 5 to 6% increase in sleep efficiency. But here's what makes this particularly extraordinary. Tart cherries contain a compound called proanthocyanidin B2 that has been shown in research from Penn State University to inhibit an enzyme called IDO, which breaks down tryptophan in the brain. When tryptophan is preserved, your brain converts it into serotonin during the day and melatonin at night. After age 65, tryptophan metabolism becomes significantly less efficient.
Some studies suggest up to a 50% reduction in conversion efficiency, meaning older adults are operating with a neurochemical disadvantage that tart cherry juice can help correct. The anthocyanins in tart cherry juice have been shown to reduce levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of systemic inflammation, by up to 28%. Here's how to use this correctly. You want 100% pure Montmorency tart cherry juice. 8 ounces consumed approximately 30 to 45 minutes before bed is the studied dose. You can dilute it slightly with water if the tartness is too intense. Do not heat it. The synergy tip for tart cherry juice is fascinating. Pair it with a small handful of walnuts, roughly 6 to 8 walnut halves. Walnuts contain a meaningful amount of DHA, the omega-3 fatty acid that forms the actual structural membrane of your brain cells. The healthy fats in walnuts also increase the absorption of the fat-soluble flavonoids in the cherry juice. Walnuts also independently contain their own small amount of melatonin, creating a compounded effect that research shows can raise blood melatonin levels by as much as 280% compared to baseline. I want you to meet Thomas. He's 69 years old from Charleston, South Carolina. Thomas had been struggling with fragmented sleep for nearly 6 years, waking up 2 or 3 times each night and getting up feeling more exhausted than when he went to bed. His physician had offered him sleep medication, but Thomas was worried about dependency and cognitive side effects. After 6 weeks of tart cherry juice before bed, paired with walnuts, Thomas reported sleeping through the night for the first time in years. What struck him most was that his mornings felt different. He was remembering dreams again, something he hadn't experienced in a decade, and his recall during the day for names and recent conversations had improved noticeably. Before I reveal the number one drink, I want to pause and ask you something. If this video is giving you value, please take 3 seconds right now and hit the like button. It tells YouTube that this information is important and helps me reach more seniors who need it. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell notification. I put out new content every week specifically designed for people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Now, let's get to number one. The number one drink on this list is a specific preparation of lion's mane mushroom tea. And I want to explain why it sits alone at the top of this list. Lion's mane, known scientifically as Hericium erinaceus, is a culinary and medicinal mushroom that has been used in traditional Chinese and Japanese medicine for centuries. It gets its name from its appearance. It grows in cascading white tendrils that look remarkably like a lion's flowing mane. Until about 15 years ago, Western medicine largely dismissed it as folk remedy. Then, something happened that changed the conversation entirely. Researchers at Hokkaido University in Japan discovered that lion's mane mushroom contains 2 unique classes of compounds found nowhere else in nature: hericenones and erinacines. These compounds do something that we were told was essentially impossible in adult humans. They stimulate the production of nerve growth factor, or NGF. Nerve growth factor is a protein produced in the brain that promotes the survival, growth, and maintenance of neurons. For most of the 20th century, the scientific consensus was that the adult brain could not grow new neurons and could not regenerate damaged ones. The discovery that lion's mane directly stimulates NGF production overturned that assumption. Think of NGF as a construction foreman in your brain. Without it, damaged neural pathways sit broken and unrepaired. With it, the construction crew gets to work. A double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial published in the journal Phytotherapy Research and conducted at Tohoku University involved adults between ages 50 and 80 with mild cognitive impairment. Participants who took lion's mane extract daily for 16 weeks showed a statistically significant improvement in cognitive function scores compared to the placebo group. When the lion's mane was discontinued, the cognitive scores began declining again, which confirmed that the effect was directly caused by the mushroom compounds. A more recent study from the University of Queensland, published in 2023, found that active compounds in lion's mane promoted neurite outgrowth and enhanced memory formation in aged neurons at a rate 280% higher than controls. Why is this so significant for aging brains? Because after age 60, the brain begins to experience synaptic pruning combined with reduced neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to form new connections and reorganize itself. Lion's mane compounds actively restore neuroplasticity by stimulating NGF. Why specifically before bed? The brain's peak neuroplasticity window occurs during deep sleep stages. Evolution designed it this way. Sleep is when the brain consolidates, repairs, and rewires. Consuming lion's mane 60 minutes before sleep means that the active compounds are circulating in your brain tissue precisely during this window of peak neuroplasticity. Additionally, lion's mane has been shown in research from the National Institutes of Health to reduce the activity of inflammatory cytokines in the brain. A 2021 study found that lion's mane reduced IL-1 beta and TNF alpha levels by up to 38% in older animal models. Here's how to prepare this correctly. You want a dual extract lion's mane supplement in either powder or tincture form. Dual extract means it has been extracted using both hot water and alcohol, which captures both the water-soluble beta-glucans and the alcohol-soluble hericenones and erinacines. Look for products standardized to at least 30% polysaccharides and make sure the label specifies fruiting body extraction. Dissolve 1 teaspoon of high-quality lion's mane powder in 8 to 10 ounces of warm water. Add a small amount of raw honey if desired. Drink this 60 minutes before bed on a relatively empty stomach. The synergy tip for lion's mane tea is particularly elegant. Add a small amount of organic cacao powder, just half a teaspoon. Raw cacao contains theobromine and a flavonoid called epicatechin, both of which support cerebral blood flow. Research from Harvard Medical School found that epicatechin improves cerebral blood flow markers by up to 33% in adults over 60. If lion's mane is the construction crew, improved cerebral blood flow is the road system that lets them get to the job site. The full scientific references for all 3 of these drinks are linked in the description below this video. I encourage you to read them, share them with your doctor, and make your own informed decisions. I want to close with something personal. I've spent over 30 years in medicine, and if there's one thing that I've seen break the spirit of aging adults more than pain, more than physical limitation, it's the loss of mental sharpness. It's the fear of not recognizing a face you love. It's the humiliation of losing a thought mid-sentence. It's the quiet terror of wondering whether the forgetting is something more serious. What breaks my heart is how many people accept this as inevitable. How many brilliant, vibrant human beings sit across from me and say, I suppose this is just getting older. I want you to hear me clearly. It does not have to be this way. The brain is not a fixed machine that simply wears out. It's a living, dynamic organ that responds to what you give it. You're not too old. The research doesn't put an age limit on neuroplasticity. It doesn't say that lion's mane works for people under 70 only. It doesn't say that the glymphatic system stops responding after 75. These mechanisms are alive in you right now, tonight, waiting for the right conditions to do their work. Your independence, your ability to live on your own terms, to remember the stories of your life and tell them to the people you love. These things are worth 3 minutes of preparation before bed. They're worth 1 cup of warm tea, 1 glass of tart cherry juice, 1 golden mug of something that your brain has been asking for. It's never too late. Not at 65, not at 72, not at 80. The science says so, and 30 years of watching patients recover, rebuild, and reclaim their sharpness says so even more clearly. If you found genuine value in this video today, please subscribe to this channel right now and hit the bell. Leave me a comment below and tell me which of these 3 drinks you're going to start with tonight. I read every single comment. I'm Dr. James Whitemore, and I'll see you in the next video.